It's amazing to us that so many people crowd into Charlestown, Massachusetts to see our national landmarks, yet completely miss one of the real landmarks of the city. The Warren Tavern, built before the heat of the Revolutionary War, is still serving locals and tourists just like it served locals here over 200 years ago. For us, this is a national treasure worth seeing.
The Warren Tavern was burned down in the Battle of Bunker Hill by the Brits, and it was one of the first buildings rebuilt after the Revolutionary War. So back then, the tavern was a source of where the politicians and basically everybody came and frequent. So they had their priorities in order when it was the first building to be rebuilt. You know, that was a necessity back then.
After the torching of Charlestown, the tavern was rebuilt in 1780, and then named for General Joseph Warren, who died in the nearby Battle of Bunker Hill. Soon afterwards, in 1786, the tavern became the location for the founding of King Solomon's Masonic Lodge. Many of our founding fathers had ties to this secretive order, but it's especially significant for the Warren Tavern.
Paul Revere and George Washington were here. We're in this building. A Masonic Lodge was founded here, the history of it. And we do have we have proof that George Washington was here and that Paul Revere was here, because the Masonic Order would record every member who participated in their meetings.
The records that the Masons kept also gave us insight into the drinking habits of our nation's heroes.
And back then they used to have a lot of toast. And just a little secret thing, they think George Washington might have had a few too many in this place, because, you know, they would do toast, you know, and one would say, Paul Revere, you know, get up and toast all his fellow Masons, and then toast, they'd have a drink, and they would record everybody who would participate in the round, in the toast. And apparently, you know, I don't want to spread any rumors here, but Washington didn't participate in a few rounds. So it's kind of like, well, what was he doing? You know, maybe he had a couple of too many toasts and took a little, well, that was frequent back then. They would take a little nap, doze off, and then go right back at it.
Now, the tavern is not only a national landmark, but also one of the best neighborhood watering holes we've ever been to. It fits our definition of what a tavern was, with locals and regulars sitting at the bar, friendly service, and a welcoming feel. When you visit, you've got to try two things. The first is their famous garlic mustard. We don't care what you order. Smear some mustard on it, and you'll be happy you did. The second is their famous clam chowder. This is chock full of clams and one of the dishes they're most well known for.
In a city full of monuments and treasures, the Warren Tavern is not to be missed. It's different than some of the other places you'll find in town. It's actually authentic. Put this place on your bucket list.